Hello, I'm so glad that you've joined us today for Coffee with the Counselor. Today we're going to talk about anxiety and how you can support your children if and when they're feeling anxious. At the end of this presentation, if you have questions and want to chat a little more, you can reach out to your school's social worker or counselor with more questions. So let's get started. As we begin, I want to make sure that you know that if your child feels anxious, he or she is not alone. Childhood anxiety is becoming more and more common, and there are now around 4.4 million children between the ages of 3 and 17 who have been diagnosed with anxiety. This includes only those who have been formally diagnosed and does not include children who experience anxiety periodically or who have not been diagnosed. Because childhood anxiety is so prevalent, parents are frequently asking how to best support their children when anxiety strikes. So first, we'll like to talk about some specific things you can do as a parent or a guardian to help your child manage their anxiety. One of the most important things to remember when children feel worried or anxious is to not dismiss their feelings. While their feelings might seem unwarranted to us, they are very real to the child experiencing them. By reminding children that it's okay to feel anxious, we validate their experiences and give them permission to work through it. A practical tip for helping children work through anxiety and to help them manage it in a way that doesn't take over their lives is to have them write down their worries when they come up. Children can then place the worries in a container, and you can set a time of day or week to go through them together. This provides a safe space for children to work through their worries and to see that you will process their feelings with them. As you help your children or child work through their worries, it is important to help your child focus on what they can control. For example, if your child is worried about a test coming up, remind them that they can't control which questions are on the test, but they can control how they prepare. Lastly, when supporting children who are feeling anxious, it's important to make sure your own anxieties are in check. Different life circumstances can leave us all feeling anxious. Our kids can pick up on this, so it's important that we as adults are using our own coping strategies to manage our anxieties. Next, when we're talking to a child who's feeling anxious, it can be hard to know what to say. The most important thing to remember is to validate their feelings and let them know that you're there for support. Some great things to say to your child when worry or anxiety creep in are, I know this is hard for you. I'm here for you. Let's work through this together. You're safe. I'm here. These statements are simple and don't fix the problem for the child, but instead let them know that they are okay and supported. On the flip side, it is important to not be dismissive of their worries. This can make a child feel foolish for sharing his or her feelings and reluctant to share in the future. Another common phrase that we want to avoid is stop worrying. Get over it. This isn't a big deal. I don't understand what you're worried about. It's fine. It's almost impossible to just decide to stop worrying. Unfortunately, worry is not a switch that we can flip on and off. Although this statement can have positive intentions, it may actually cause the child to feel like a failure because he or she is unable to simply stop. Again, the best thing to do is to validate their feelings and work together to help your child manage them. Now let's talk about some coping strategies for anxiety. A great way to help your child manage their anxiety is by helping your child learn to use various coping strategies. When it comes to coping skills, it is crucial to talk about them and practice them when the child is in a calm state. This will make it easier for your child to use the strategies when they're feeling upset or anxious. It is also great to have a variety of coping strategies that your child can choose from. Some coping skills may not always be possible or may not seem helpful at the time. Work with your child to come up with several things they can do to feel more calm when the anxiety starts to ramp up. A great coping skill for anxiety is deep breathing. Deep breathing can help your child's body and brain slow down, which can be so helpful when their brain is working in overdrive. Establishing a practice of gratitude is another great coping skill for anxiety. This can be done by keeping a gratitude journal, sharing what you're thankful for, or even countering each anxious thought with 3 things to be grateful for. Other great strategies to remind your child of are talking to an adult, journaling, or drawing. focusing on what you can control, and getting exercise. Again, the more comfortable your child is with knowing and using their own coping strategies, the more likely he or she is to use them. Worry and anxiety are normal feelings. However, if your child seems to be worrying constantly or is affecting their functioning like sleep or school, it's helpful to consult someone outside. You can talk to your child's pediatrician, or your school's social worker or counselor can help get you connected with some resources that can support you and your child. Remember, you're not alone. Children and families all across the world are dealing with anxiety. Thankfully, however, there are an increasing number of resources that exist to give children the support they need. I hope this talk has been helpful, and I would love if you guys reach out with questions or concerns. If there are no questions, I hope that you and your child can help feel less anxious. Thank you so much.